Welcome back to Dark Love Psychology. Today we're diving into one of the most misunderstood truths in modern dating: why men who lead win. Because leadership isn't about domination, control, or being the boss. It's about direction, emotional stability, and the ability to move the relationship forward with intention. This video will break down the psychology behind it, with real examples, and how you can apply it starting today. Chapter 1. The Power of Direction. 1.1. What women actually look for. Most women don't want a man who controls them, but they do want a man who knows where he's going. A man with direction creates security. Example: two men ask a woman out. Man A says, "So, what do you want to do?" Man B says, "Let's check out that new cafe at 7. I think you'd like it." Women overwhelmingly choose man B because he leads with clarity. 1.2. Direction reduces uncertainty. Uncertainty creates anxiety. Leadership reduces that anxiety. A man who leads says, "Here's the plan. I'll adjust if needed, but I've got this." This builds trust, which is the foundation of attraction. Chapter 2. Emotional leadership. 2.1. Calm wins every time. Women test emotional strength, consciously or unconsciously. They look at how you react when she's upset, plans change, stress increases. A leader stays steady, not cold, not passive, just grounded. Example: she gets emotional and says something sharp. A weak man reacts with anger. A leader says calmly, "I hear you. Let's talk when we're both calm." That's emotional leadership. 2.2. Why emotional leadership creates respect. Women feel safe when a man's emotions don't get hijacked easily. This is why calm-centered men get more respect and attraction. Chapter 3. Decision-making power. 3.1. Leaders reduce mental load. One of the biggest female complaints in relationships is, "I'm tired of having to make all the decisions." Leadership is simply taking initiative. Example: instead of, "What do you want to eat?" say, "I'll cook tonight. How do you feel about salmon or pasta?" Giving options, but still leading. 3.2. Decision-making doesn't mean. Controlling leadership is not forcing decisions, ignoring her input. Acting superior leadership is offering direction, taking responsibility, being flexible. Women follow men who lead but listen. Chapter 4. Setting standards and boundaries. 4.1. Standards are leadership. Men with zero standards are forgettable. Men with clear standards are respected. Example: I value honesty. If we have issues, let's talk about them directly. Standards signal emotional maturity. 4.2. Boundaries show self-respect. A leader doesn't tolerate disrespect, not because he's harsh, but because he respects himself. Example: she cancels last minute several times. A weak man: "Okay, no problem." A leader: "Let's reschedule when the timing works better for both of us." You don't punish her, you simply uphold your value. Chapter 5. Leadership through action. 5.1. Why women follow actions, not opinions. You can say you're confident, but if your actions show insecurity, inconsistency, or neediness, she feels it instantly. Leadership is behavior. 5.2. Small actions that demonstrate leadership. You solve problems instead of complaining. You follow through on what you say. You protect her from unnecessary emotional chaos. You maintain your goals and daily discipline. Instead of saying, "I'm motivated," you actually wake up and go to the gym consistently. That's leadership. Women are drawn to predictable, reliable direction. Chapter 6. Leading the relationship forward. 6.1. Having a vision. A relationship without vision becomes unstable. Leadership means having clarity on things like relationship pace, future plans, personal growth, emotional expectations. Example: you initiate conversations about, "Where do we want this to go?" 6.2. She follows a man who knows where he's going. Leadership gives her something to trust, something to believe in, something to walk into confidently. The man who leads gives direction. The man who waits gets replaced. Chapter 7. Attraction psychology. 7.1 The evolutionary perspective. In human psychology, leadership equals protection, stability, security. This triggers ancient attraction instincts. Women don't want dictators. They want competent men who can guide, protect, and steady the relationship. 7.2 Leadership creates emotional safety. Emotional safety creates desire. A man who leads makes a woman feel like she can relax. And women are most feminine when they feel safe. Chapter 8. Modern misunderstanding. 8.1 Feminine energy doesn't erase female needs. Even strong, independent women want leadership from a man, not because they can't lead, but because they want to relax around someone stronger. 8.2 Leadership is not toxic masculinity. Toxic is control. Leadership is confidence. Examples of toxic: gaslighting, manipulation, dominance. Examples of leadership: clarity, stability, responsibility. Women know the difference immediately. Chapter 9. How to become a leader. 9.1 Build inner stability. You cannot lead anyone until you lead yourself. Start with emotional control, daily discipline, physical health, financial responsibility. 9.2 Learn to make decisions. Leaders don't always make the perfect decision, but they make decisions. Action, hesitation. 9.3 Communicate with intention. Speak with clarity. Here's what I think. Here's what I want. What do you think about this plan? Invite her input. Lead the direction. Lead with intention. Win with direction. Women follow men who lead not because they're forced to, but because they want to. Leadership makes her feel safe, connected, and confident in the relationship. If you want depth, if you want respect, if you want long-lasting attraction, become a man who leads with clarity, emotional stability, and purpose. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe to Dark Love Psychology for more insights and tips to help you succeed. Thanks for watching until the end. See you in the next video.